What is up, boys? We are back with another tier list. This time we're doing Yuri's Revenge Allied players. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so we've got Revo, Solid C, Legend B, Woody A. I've never really seen Woody win, like, I honestly, I can say I don't remember a single time where Woody won any game as Allied on Yuri's Revenge in any show match he's played or in tournaments or anything like that. So I wouldn't overrate his Allied on like his Soviet or anything. So I would say he's a solid A. Kien probably C or B. Leave him in B for now. Yoki, one of the best. Absolutely yes. No question. He won the Allied vs Yuri, or not Allied vs Yuri, but Allied and Yuri tournament. Um, Pretty much dominating everybody. The only Yuri he's struggled with is mine. Other than that, he does pretty well against any other Yuri as Allied, and his Allied is pretty good against Soviet and against Allied. It's kind of a shame that he stopped playing Allied, but I understand, like, they're so weak. Makes sense. This is a V-dubs, not FC map. Eh, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of Bs. I mean, Adam's been gone for a long time, but the list is gonna be um, either active top pros in general, any faction they play, and then I'll be rating their allied only, obviously, and then allied, like very famous allied only players, and then active allied players as well. So that's where there will be a few people in here that don't really play anymore, but we we've seen how they do over the years, and we know how good they are. Okay, Jared, pretty solid allied player. It's just he's not much of a Yuri's Revenge player. Anybody who struggles with Yuri, they're gonna be lower on the list, obviously, because it's all about uh being well rounded as allied. Um, the higher rated players are the ones who can play against all factions, because obviously in quick match or show matches or anything, if you pick allied, a lot of times you're gonna be countered with Yuri or Soviet, you know, and then you have to be able to deal with that. You can't just play one. Yeah, it's similar to Big Butt where he can play Allied versus Soviet. Like he's one of the best at that. But then you could go allied against him or Yuri, and he's just a free win. So that's why he's so low rated. If he worked on those, obviously he's inactive now anyways. But if he worked on those two factions, he would be easily A, maybe S. But as it stands, he's easy to counter, which is why he stopped playing. I think Cruiser is very underrated in general, but his allied is pretty strong. And he could play against Yuri as allied as well. Jake is probably the strongest C. He's pretty, in terms of his skill level, he's pretty even in each matchup. Sonny used to be a pretty good allied player, but in activity and stuff, I can't rate him very high. But he's decent, and he's alright playing against Yuri as well. Mikos, eh. Marsh is solid. He can play against Yuri very well. He can play against Allied and Allied versus Allied, and against Soviet. He's pretty solid. I'd probably put him above Cruiser and above Adam, really. Mr. D, but honestly, I don't have too much information on him. I know he's a lower level player. This will be controversial, I'm sure, but as it stands, Zas always makes the top 10 with Allied. He's very good against Yuri with Allied, and he's decent against Sov and Allied. So I gotta put him up the highest A right now. Again, if any of these guys like Woody or any other top player who is low rated, well, considers themselves low rated, they can prove it by getting rank 1 on CNCnet. But he would also have to fix his FPS because that's obviously an issue. Yeah, Marko's not. Um, his allied's pretty basic. He just plays it like he's Soviet and doesn't know how to play against Yuri. Against Soviet, he does alright. Um, and allied, he's not great either. It all depends. Like for example, he can beat, like, let's say he plays Legend in a series and he's allied only, Legend Soviet. He could probably beat Legend there, maybe even comfortably. But if they matched randomly in quick match, Legend would just 5-0 him. So it's the Marko effect where he'll beat some of these guys just by them basically letting him win. Not letting him win, but they don't think they could beat him, so they'll just lose to him. But if he's in quick match, he really struggles. The last time he did an allied only month, he got like ranked 24, I think. So yeah, not great with allied. Onion, he just came back. He's decent, but not not quite a top player. Lindong, I could make an argument with him being an S, to be honest, but I've not seen him in fucking years, so we'll have to lower him a bit. I think he's better than Woody in the Allied on Yuri's bench. I think he was super well rounded and very aggressive. I loved playing against him. The last time I saw him was several years ago, probably 3 years ago, and he was doing very well. Like I would have to really work for wins in Yuri vs Allied, and he was just kind of steamrolling Marko Sov. So he's a solid player for sure. I mean, everybody knows he's good on Riddler too, but he's very underrated on Yuri's Revenge. Tim, I think Tim is one of the best allies as well. He's decent against Yuri, and he can play against Allied versus Allied, and he can play against Soviet. The one thing I don't really like about him is he does those terrible GIBFs against Soviet, which I think is bad. But overall, he's pretty solid. Okay, I'm not even gonna pretend like it. I mean, I'm the only person to ever get rank 1 as Allied, and I did it twice. Like, that alone just settles it, in my opinion. Also, all the tournament wins and show match wins with Allied. I think pretty much all these top players rank similarly. These top Sov guys who use Allied um, every now and then they just kind of play it like they're Soviet anyway. And they do okay, but they still struggle in the against the very best of any faction. But they hold their own. I'm putting Ludo in A because I feel he's more well-rounded than these guys lower. He could play very well against Yuri. He could also play decently against Sov and Allen. No real weakness, but obviously not at the top, but pretty solid player. I don't know why he picks Korea though in a lot of situations. Disagree with that. I think Korea's bad. Artie as well, very solid allied player. He's good against all factions. He plays very similar to me against Yuri. He's actually recently switched to using Yuri more than Allied, I think, which makes sense. Like most people are doing that now because Allied's kind of useless. But in terms of Allied, he's pretty solid. Snark, probably right here. Here. There we go. Alright, I think that's perfect. Let's see. Everything looks pretty good. Let's see. I'd probably do this. I think that's fair. I think if he played Yuri's Revenge now, he would be absolutely a top Allied player. He could make top 5 with Allied for sure. Just based off of what I've seen, my experiences of playing with him for a year or so, um, he's very good. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. A's good, S is good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Alright guys, that is the list. Thank you for watching. I'll see you very soon. I'm gonna have a new video every day this month. just random game videos, and occasionally I'll throw in another tier list. These are pretty fun. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. So I've heard this nonsense rumor many times that Marko's gotten rank 1 with Germany, blah blah blah. So for the month of December, if Marko wants to prove himself, if he can get rank 1 with Allied only, then I'll give him $100. Alright, peace.